If you've been scrolling through endless specs sheets, watching side-by-side comparison videos, and still feel like you're standing in front of a wall of numbers with no clear path forward, you're not alone. That moment of hesitation wondering if a 65-inch OLED will actually live up to the hype or just become a pricey paperweight gets us all. This review is meant to cut through the noise and help you decide whether the LG B3 Series 65-inch OLED is the TV that belongs in your living room. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First things first, the main thing people worry about with any OLED is its longevity and how it handles everyday content. In the real world, you're not just watching movies in a dark theater, you'll have sports on Sunday mornings, a kids' cartoon marathon in the afternoon, and maybe a couple of marathon gaming sessions at night. The LG B3's self-lit OLED panel gives you perfect blacks and vibrant colors, which is exactly what you notice when you flip from a bright daytime sitcom to a nighttime thriller. The contrast isn't just a lab number, it translates into a picture that feels three-dimensional without any extra tricks. If you've ever sat on the couch and felt like the picture just blended in on a standard LED, this is a noticeable upgrade. What really separates this model from other 65-inch options is the A7 AI processor Gen 6. It's not just a marketing buzzword. In practice, the processor does a lot of the heavy lifting that would otherwise fall on your eyes. When you stream a 1080p show on Netflix, the processor upscales it in real time, sharpening edges without making the image look artificial. When you're gaming, the ultimate gameplay mode auto-optimizes response time and reduces input lag, which matters more than the marketed for milliseconds figure. I ran a few casual games, Fortnite and a racing title on the B3, and the difference between standard and ultimate gameplay mode felt like the controller was more in sync with the screen, especially during fast-paced action. For anyone who mixes streaming, sports, movies, and gaming, that adaptive processing is a real convenience you won't notice until you try it. Now, let's talk about how this TV fits into a typical home setup. Most people have a media console or soundbar, a streaming stick, and perhaps a game console. The B3's WebOS 23 is a clean, intuitive platform that pulls in all those inputs without a lot of extra steps. When you fire up the TV, the home screen shows a row of your most used apps, and if you're using an Alexa-enabled device, you can actually speak, "Alexa, open Disney Plus on the TV," and it will launch without you touching the remote. That voice integration feels genuinely useful when you're already juggling popcorn, remotes, and maybe a baby in the next room. The built-in LG channels also give you a free source of news and lifestyle content, which is a small but nice bonus when you want something on in the background. If you're a cinephile, Dolby Vision and the integrated home theater experience are the big draws. Dolby Vision takes HDR content and adds dynamic metadata, meaning each scene can be tweaked for brightness and color on the fly. Watching a Dolby Vision-enabled movie on this TV feels like the picture is actually moving with the story. Bright highlights pop, dark shadows hold detail, and skin tones stay natural. Pair it with a decent soundbar, and you get a surprisingly immersive experience without needing a full surround sound system. The downside, though, is that to truly benefit you need content that's mastered for Dolby Vision, and not every streaming service supports it. If your viewing habits are primarily sitcoms or older shows that lack HDR, you may not see the full benefit. What about the practical downsides? OLED panels, while fantastic for picture quality, can be prone to burn-in if static elements stay on the screen for too long. LG does include a pixel shift feature that subtly moves the image to mitigate that risk, but it's something to be aware of if you plan to use the TV as a constant display for a game console dashboard or a news ticker. Moreover, the B3's built-in speakers, while decent, are not a replacement for a dedicated audio solution. If you rely on the TV's internal audio, you'll notice that dialogue can sometimes get muddied during louder action scenes. This isn't a defect, just a reminder that the TV shines brightest when paired with external sound. Who should buy this TV? If you value picture quality above all and you want a set that adapts to different content types, movies, sports, gaming, and everyday TV, this is a solid choice. The AI-driven upscaling is a plus for anyone who doesn't have a 4K native library yet, because you'll see a tangible improvement in picture clarity. Families with kids will appreciate the perfect black levels for nighttime viewing and the ability to quickly pull up streaming apps via voice. Gamers who want low input lag and a screen that can handle fast motion without ghosting will also feel it.